to home, not at your home.
No, but because it's all the time. I mean, my mum didn't like answering the door anyway. Even if it was the pools man, she'd sort of say, "Don't move," and he might not see that we're here.
So you just froze where a man was at the door.
Well, because the front room was near the door, so people
Right.
could see in.
Right.
So you just sort of stayed there and pretend that either you
Well, so
can't hear
like
him.
some sort of predator, like they can't see if you don't move.
Even if he was peering in through the window and he could see you in there not moving.
So he looked through, and there was 3 people just frozen, like statues, right? Just their eyes looking at him,
Yeah.
and then confused.
Well, they're clearly dead. I'll move on. There's obviously been a gas leak.
And did you say sitting or stand up, or did you sort of like throw yourself?
No,
to
we
the
just
floor?
sat on the where you were, and you just stayed still.
But did he ever look in and see?
I don't know, because you didn't turn around, did you?
So you would pretend you couldn't hear the door?
It's the easiest, honestly, the amount of times people would come round, it's either... It seemed to be the 80s, had a lot of it, because it was all the Avon thing, wasn't it? It was perfume,
Yeah.
Tupperware.
What?
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah, the plastic boxes.
It's dishes for fat people. Here we go. Oh, these are big. Of course they are. They're for fat fuckers like you to eat out of.
There was the pools man.
Right.
Just a lot of charity stuff. Just a lot. It seemed to be the time, the 80s, that they suddenly found out they can sort of scav money off people.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
give
there's
it
a
to
lot of scavving.
So that's why we used to ignore the
I
door.
just love this image of you.
Yeah, so
You're in the
Simon-
lounge.
Yeah.
You're having a little boogie. It's Christmas. Someone's
Yeah.
tapping on the glass. Freeze. They just go, well, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Nothing here for us.
Hammer time. Silence. There's a. Okay, right. Let's do the scenario. I'm at the door. I can see you in there. Might as well come open the door. Carl, why are you staying so still? Are you trying to avoid me?
It's working.
Carl, your eyes are moving. Can you come to the door, please?
I suppose in the end you've got to move on.
Carl, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here until you have to move. Carl. This is the most pointless podcast we've ever done. Me shouting your name and you pretending not to be here. Okay, and I'll move on then. Right.
It works.
Yeah.
Works
okay.
perfectly.
Because once they've got you, that's the whole thing with charity. Once they've stopped you in the street, if you've stopped, that's it.
Keeps on going.
You're handing something over.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I've been stopped. I mean, the good thing now is you've got an iPod, so you can just either pretend you're on the phone or listen to music.
Or just stay very still. Just freeze when someone says, "Can I trouble you for?" Oh, he's totally frozen.
That would be amazing because they're normally in one spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's just
So
they're
as soon
carrying
as
on
they
selling,
stop you,
and
so
you've got
you
to
just
stay there
freeze
for
it,
the
you-
rest of it outside Waitrose
Yeah.
for 7 hours.
Yeah, it goes dark. Well, I finished my shift. I'm off, and then you just see your eyes just see them walk away like that, and they all meet in their little tunics, and then you start walk. They look back, and you freeze, and then they walk on, and then you can go home 7 hours late.
If you would like to donate to Comic Relief, why not visit rednoseday.com. Ever since I was young, I've always liked going in charity shops, particularly because, you know, you find sort of interesting old records in there. Never sort of gone in there to buy clothes and stuff, but, you know, books, whatever. And I was in a charity shop, you know, and I've patronised them for years, and I noticed out through the window there was like a paparazzi guy, and he was taking pictures of me through the window. That was a bit weird, and obviously the old lady. And then it was in one of the magazines, like the kind of celebrity magazines. It was, oh, here's Steve Merchant. You know, despite all the money he must have made from his various projects, he's still going in charity shops. And you just think, but sorry, how is that a bad thing? I'm giving my money to a charity. Isn't that a noble cause? I mean, obviously that's not the reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it
To save 50p.
to save 50p, of course. But
But they don't know
they
that.
don't know that.
No.
They
You might
don't
be
know
going
me.
down and going, keep the change, love. You never have said that.
Never said that.
Never said that in your life.
No, occasionally I'll shoplift. I'm no mug. 70p? Don't you think that seems frustrating, though, that...
Yeah, but what do you expect? What are they going to do? They're not going to say Steve Merchant, Heart of Gold, are they?
I just thought all these things would slowly accumulate towards the OBE.
Yeah, I know. I think you've got to do a bit more than get Roger Whittaker's Greatest Hits for 10p.
My mum's always in them, and because my mum goes in them, my dad sort of got into going into them now because, you know, the weather's not good or whatever, and he thinks rather than standing outside, he went in one, and he was after a jacket, just like a sort of a, you know, casual but quite smart.
Yeah.
He's quite a big bloke, so it's difficult to find them, right? So he's in there, sees the jacket, goes, oh look, here's that sort of jacket that I'm after. Picks it up, tries it on. Oh, it fits. It's good, this, isn't it? She's going, yeah. While she's looking at, you know, a toad that you put money in or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gets to the counter, and it's got a price tag on it, £8, right? So he said, I'll give you £6. He had £6 in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you £6 for that. She went, no, it's £8. Now that's wrong, isn't it? That's a good price, and it's £6. They've got it for nothing.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't have any of it. He said, surely something's better than nothing. If you don't give me this for £6, it's going back on the hanger. And they said, no, sorry.
Yeah, but they might later sell it for £8.
But they might not, and it's been given to them for free. Yeah,
So
but what does it matter?
But the old
Who's
lady's
come up
not.
with the price of £8? Who is this?
Yeah.
They don't
she's
know how
not
much it's
haggling.
worth.
She's not there to haggle. Someone's priced out, and she's just a volunteer who's
Maybe she thought of it that she was losing the charity £2 as opposed to gaining it £6.
But they haven't gained anything because he put it back on, and how many people want it? How many people are looking out for that jacket?
It might be the principle. She might have thought, oh, you can't haggle when it's for charity.
It was a fair price. I give a lot of stuff to charity. A lot. Most of the time, just because it's nearer than the wheelie bin is. It's just a way of getting rid of garbage most of the time with me. Stick it all in a bin bag, good stuff on the top, the stuff that you're embarrassed about,
Yeah.
stick it in the bottom of the bag.
What are you
Run
embarrassed
in,
about?
Just old shoes, trainers,
some of the books you've written.
socks, underpants.
Underpants. You do not give underpants to charity.
Washed.
But who's gonna wash? I know, as opposed to just like peeling them off.
Yeah.
I don't know why you've got a problem with underpants, but shoes. You see, I've
Who's
never bought
buying
shoes.
underpants from a charity shop? I mean, I don't care how low you are on the socio-economic level.
I know.
You can get about 14 pairs for £1 in some places.
I know. I don't know who's buying underpants. I don't know who's buying your underpants. I definitely don't know.
I mean, if they were signed.
Yeah.
That is something I like doing though. When I've given to charity, I like going past the shop and seeing if it made it in the window.
Any success?
Yeah, recently the one not far from here had me egg cups in the window. So it's like, oh look, there's
What, you've got a new set of egg cups, so you've got rid of your old ones?
yeah.
I don't think we've got any egg cups.
Haven't you?
No.
Why
I don't
not?
think so. I don't.
Don't have boiled eggs.
I can't imagine you. It would take. You'd be too impatient to boil an egg, Rick.
Well, yeah. I just don't, it's just those things you think of never buying. You know, like, egg cups, a whisk.
No, but you do eventually.
I suppose you got to, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's things that were just always there when you grow up, isn't it? That you
Yeah.
have to go and you think of, but not second hand though.
But there's nothing wrong. Honestly, it's hardly. I mean, it's made the window space. That's how good it was. It had hardly been used, that egg cup, because it was a doubler, and I think they were quite small for the egg size that I get. I think they were made more for the small egg, and I have the large egg.
Right.
So it was never really
Just
used.
like your underpants.
But
Are you ever been a charity shopper, Rick?
Yeah. What I used to do a lot of was records and tapes and things like that. But it ended up sort of being ironic. It really ended up like getting, something like Shane Rich's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
And things like that.
a bit of a dilemma that my Auntie Nora had. She likes charity shops as well. She's got a neighbour. Went out to Gracelands, big Elvis fan. They came back. She said, "How was Graceland?" She said, "Oh, it was brilliant. Best holiday we've ever had. Probably go back again. We've got a gift for you." Right? They get out this clock, like a little sort of. It's like a Swiss. You know, the Swiss sort of looks like a little
clock.
house, like a
Yeah.
cuckoo clock. But on the hour, little Elvis comes out the top and goes, So she went, "Oh, cheers." She's not really into Elvis. She's more into Jim Reeves and
Yeah.
Glenn Campbell and stuff.
Yeah.
But what can you say? She said, "Oh, thanks for that." She put it in, took it in the house.
Maybe they could get attachments. Maybe you get a little Jim Reeves to pop on the spring. Change it anything you like. Like So Solid Crew, you can get a little So Solid Crew, and that pops out, or whoever.
So anyway, it's in the house. She's thinking, I'm not going to put that up. It's not her sort of thing. So thinks, give it to charity. Of course. She goes down to the charity shop, gives them that, thinks nothing of it, goes off to the pub for her afternoon drink. Anyway, next day she's going out for her afternoon drink again. Passes the charity shop. It's in the window.
And the chances are her friends are going to pass by.
That was a dilemma.
Of course.
She had to buy it back.
That's brilliant.
At a hugely inflated price. For those that are American listeners, Comic Relief here is a sort of it happens every other year, and people often do things in their workplace or at school. They can dress up, they can raise money in different fun ways, and we were told in a school assembly, it was Comic Relief next Friday, everyone has to come along dressed up in fancy dress to school on that day.
Has to.
Yeah, they said they have to dress up. They said you pay 50p towards Comic Relief, and you have to pay £1 if you don't dress up. Right?
That's annoying, isn't it?
So of course I'm looking forward to this because I'm a sort of aspiring comedian and that get to dress up like a clown, right?
What did that look like?
The shoes, obviously, I just wore my regular shoes.
Exactly, yeah.
But I had the red nose, a wig,
Wow.
the whole deal. Big bow tie that my mum made for me. I thought this is going to be the best day ever, right? Get to school. I want you to picture this scene, right? During the assembly in my class of 30. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school uniform. Lanky kid dressed as a clown. School uniform, school uniform, school uniform, school. There was 3 people in the entire school who dressed up.
But Steve, you're 50p.
Yes, but then worse than that, it turns out I was furious because I looked like an utter dick. Obviously, it turns out that what happened, I don't know whether I'd missed this information, but apparently the headmaster must have had another assembly where he told people that he wasn't allowed to enforce that rule about making people pay
Well, that's good.
against their will.
Yeah.
So obviously no one showed up dressed like an utter dick except me and about 2 other knobs.
What disappoints me is that for a man who was a self-confessed aspiring comedian, you chose the least funny thing in the world to dress as.
Yeah.
Clowns are anti-comedy. They suck comedy out of the room. It's not.
You're right, and this is from a man who wanted to dress as Hitler at the Golden Globes.
No, that's
He
funny.
knows funny costumes when he thinks. But you were saying about the guys who bother you in the street. Did I tell you that when I pretended to be foreign to try and get out of that? Did I tell you that story?
Amazing.
Because a technique I used to develop at university was whenever people bothered me in the street, I would pretend to be sort of generic foreign. I can't really do a foreign accent, but I would just be like if someone asked for directions, I was always worried about giving them the wrong directions, so I would just, sorry, I don't really, how you say, it's just kind of vague foreign.
Brilliant.
And I've periodically used this method throughout my life, and not so long ago a guy stopped me with one of those charity tunics, and I sprang into my old trick. I was like, sorry, I don't.
An elderly Russian woman.
I don't know what voice that is. I don't know what accent
it went from vaguely French to sort of Eastern European beggar.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And the guy, and I was sort of, I don't. He was, well, just let me explain to you about. Sorry, I'm not from. And the guy,
This world.
Yeah.
I am from planet Snork.
And the guy said, "Are you Stephen Merchant?"
No.
Swear to
Sorry.
God.
Not when you were famous.
Oh yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because it hadn't occurred to me. It was like a lapse of concentration.
God.
It was a
almighty.
lapse of concentration because
And did your bow tie spin round and you squirted in water and ran away? That's what I'd have done.
because it's one of those things where you don't always remember that you've been on the. It's not like I instantly remembered that.
Amazing.
So he says, "Are you Stephen Merchant?" And then you're at this position where you've got to go. Either you've got to admit what you did, or you've got to carry on the lie. And I chose the second one. So I was kind of like, I don't know who that is. What? I don't know what you. And he was like,
Oh God.
really? You look a lot like him. I was going, I've never heard. I don't.
In fact, you are Stephen Merchant. Freeze.
I'm always getting stopped for. I mean, there's so many charities now. Anything. I think that's the other problem, actually, that there's so many now. Years ago, a problem wouldn't have been a problem, whereas today it's someone's got this problem, someone's got OCD and we're collecting for that.
Right.
It's not just starving people anymore, it's everything.
Yeah.
One little fault, they're out there with a clipboard
Yeah, a
asking
lot,
for your bank
a lot of
details.
new diseases have cropped
Definitely.
up, particularly for these sort of rich and famous diseases that really
Weren't
third
around.
world people do not suffer from.
So I was in WH Smith's probably buying a Valentine's card.
Oh, okay.
So there you go, you see. So I do a bit. And
Is this the cheapest one you've got, love?
I bought
Yeah.
I bought a big bar of like Galaxy.
Oh, cheaper
Okay.
than a box of chocolates, but yeah, still nice.
For me, that because they had an offer
Oh.
on, right?
Oh,
this is what I'm
Valentine's Day.
saying.
Okay, she's getting a card, isn't
This
she?
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt awkward because she could see that. Oh, he must have some money.
What, a big bar of
Because you
Galaxy
can
in a-
afford some chocolate.
Well, it was like an impulse buy thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's thinking he's got money to burn.
Yeah.
So at first I didn't
Yeah.
know who she
There's a
was.
guy over here buying a big bar of Galaxy and a small card. Yeah, follow him.
So she's
Dun,
there.
dun,
I'm
dun,
thinking
dun,
she just works in WH Smith's.
Yeah.
Morning, sir. All right, how's it going? Oh,
Right.
have you got a minute?
Mm.
So I'm thinking, oh, is it WH Smith saying, how often do you buy the Galaxy? Because they always
Yeah.
do sort of
Yeah.
surveys and stuff. So she said, oh, you like chocolate? I went, yeah. She said, yeah, I'll have a chocolate. Right?
Oh.
Little chocolate.
Yeah.
I ate it.
Yeah.
Then she goes, right, are you aware of the problems in the world? So I'm thinking, oh, what's this? You see, they've been clever there.
Yes.
I can't say no and walk off without a bit of chocolate.
Sure.
Right.
So
Why don't you freeze? Just freeze.
We're closing up now. We're closing the shop.
So I said, oh, yeah, there's loads of problems. I'm sick of it. So she says,
No, not yours, sir. There
So-
are some people who are starving.
yeah, and I explained to her, I said, listen, I've got loads of these charities every
Right.
month. I said,
Right.
my bank account is literally, because I don't use my current bank account that much. So
Right.
you look at it with a statement, it's like Tools for Africa,
Right.
Help the Aged,
Mm.
Deaf Kids.
Yeah.
There's another one.
.com, deafkids.com.
There's loads.
It's Tools for Africa when they send people like Carl over to help out.
Yeah, that is Comic Relief. Tools for Africa is another name for Comic Relief if you watch it.
So anyway, I said, I do all this. She's going, oh, that's very good of you, but we need your money as well. So she's saying, but just as much as you can afford, every little helps and everything. I've been here all day. Look, as you can see, I haven't had much luck. It's not that busy in the shop. Blah blah. Oh, all right then, right. So I give her the details. She looks at the amount. She goes, right, now the options are, you can tick the £5 box, the £10 box, the £20 box, the £50 box. This is a monthly payment.
Right.
She said, will I put you down for a tenner? Forget the £5. She just leapfrogged that straight away.
Yeah.
And you can't go back, can you? Because then you feel bad.
Sure.
To sort of go, well, you've got a £5 one there, tick that one.
Yeah.
She can see I've got the chocolate, sort of wasting my money on things that aren't necessary when
Yeah.
there's people dying around the world.
Yeah.
I said, right, yeah, tenner, fine. And, I filled it all out. I left the shop.
Yep.
Spent more on that than I did.
So you spent under £10 then, basically.
So I get home and everything, forget about it. I keep seeing these statements going out. It looks like Gandhi's bank account, the amount of stuff I'm giving away for charities.
Sure.
I forget about it though, forget it. I'm doing my bit for charity. I should
Yeah.
feel good about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, something kicks off in the world.
Right.
Ring, 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 ring. Oh. Hello, is that Mr. Pilkinson? Straight away I'm thinking, oh, who's this? This isn't good.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, it's so-and-so charity.
Right.
Are you aware of the problems in the world? I said, yes, I am. There's lots of them. Yeah, but have you heard about the latest one? I said, yeah. She went, well, I'm just calling up to say thanks for the donation that you give us every month, but it's not enough. So I said, yeah, well, I think I give enough. I said, you're not the only ones here. I said,
Yeah.
I've got 5 charities on the go here.
Yeah.
I said, I've give you what I can afford.
Yeah.
She's going, yeah, but let me just tell you about the problems. There's so many people missing here. This is bad. These are dying. Da da da. I'm going, I know. I was told all this when I signed up, and I agreed to that amount.
Yeah.
The £10 that I said I'm happy to give you, that's what I can afford. Call some other people up who aren't giving you a tenner.
Yeah.
She goes, no, but we haven't got their numbers, and we understand that you're a supporter of our charity, and just a little bit more will help. I said, listen, I can't. I've given you that amount. If you want, if it's not enough, let's stop the direct debit now. I
Right.
said, if it's not helping you, let's can it, and
Yeah.
I'll give it to deafkids.com. I said, because they're not calling up Mithering.
No.
Well, they
That's a
can.
good thing with them. So she said, no, I don't want to do that. I said, well, that's it then. And she wouldn't let it go. And in the end, she got an extra £1.50 off me.
Right.
But that shouldn't be allowed. I think they should have, like, 1 year where they go, this year, hungry people.
Right.
Next year, people with a limp, or just like they do with the China thing, with the year of the cat, year of the rabbit. It's very clear.
Yeah.
It's that year. That's who we're helping this year.
Right.
If you've got that problem, it's your year. You're going to have a good